level up and down with the string line. And I measure to the rear of the mold. I'm 5 mils off where I want it to be. I want it to be 410 millimeters or 16 inches. And the reason why I want to be 10 millimeters further is to allow for the expansion of concrete when it comes out of the mold. Once the concrete comes out of the mold and it expands, our offset is 400. It should be right on 400. If I set the mold up to 400 right off, by the time the concrete comes out of the mold and expands, I may be 380, 390. Now I'm off my offset too far into the line. We also want to make sure that the machine is running parallel with the line. So we can take a measurement off this post right here. I have 390. Simply measure right here. And as you can see, I have 390. That tells me that my machine is running perfectly parallel with the string line. We're going to check our elevation now. Now for an elevation, we wanted 400 as well. Again, we set it up to be 390 because we wanted to, or 395 because we wanted to allow for the concrete to settle a little bit as it comes out of the mold. So we simply put the level at the EP. We measure up to the string line. As you can see, we're off about 15 millimeters. The elevation is easy to correct. It's just a matter of adjusting these. So again, to bring the machine down, we're going to bring the sensor up. It's up for down, down for up. So now that we got our offset set up to 400 to back a curve, our elevation is also 400. We also set this up off the string line, so let's see how close we are now that we put the machine on the line. We put the level on the EP, we measure up. Again, we wanted 395 to allow for the concrete to settle a little bit. As you can see, we're about 10 mils off, so we're going to make that adjustment now. To bring the machine down, we need to bring the sensor up. And if I want to bring the machine up, I need to bring the sensor down. As you can see, we're right on now. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to make sure that we have no draft going to the front of the machine. If we have draft going to the front of the machine, which means that the front of the mold is lower than the rear, we're not going to get pressure in the back, we're not going to get a very nice finish on the concrete. So in order to do that, there's two different ways you can do it. You can stand back and you can eye it up, which works really well. Or you can take two simple measurements. Power Curver gives you these tabs on the mold that allow you to make your mold parallel with the line, level with the line. So if I put this there and I measure down up to the line, as you can see, I got 1.5 inches for in the back. Now I want to make sure I have the same on the front. As you can see, I have 1.25 inches on the front. which tells me that the front of my mold is a little bit higher than the back. I don't like it when my mold is a little bit higher. I like it when it's perfectly level. A lot of people think if you have draft going from the front to the rear, it helps your finish, when in reality it doesn't help you at all. It actually slows you down, creates drag, and helps rocks turn up in your product, which you don't want. So I'm going to adjust the front sensor here to make sure my machine is perfectly level with the line. As you can see, I now have 1.5 inches on my tape measure, which tells me that my mold is perfectly level with my string line. Now there's no draft going to the front, there's no draft other than what's built into the mold going to the rear of the machine, which is how you want to set up your machine. You shouldn't have your machine going down the string line looking like this. It should be nice and level with the string line.